Today we are meeting with Yossie Hollander, chairman of the Israeli Institute for Economic Planning. Mr. Hollander, what is the purpose of the Israeli Institute for Economic Planning?
It's a pleasure to be here today. The purpose of the Israeli Institute for Economic Planning is to support policies that encourage free market economy in Israel. Right?
What are the dangers of global oil dependency?
One of the subjects we deal at the Institute is oil dependency, and especially Israel's role in changing that dependency. I believe that there are threefold. One is, of course, the energy security, our dependence on oil from a political perspective. All the money goes to countries that don't like Israel very much and also don't like the US very much. And I think a lot of the problems in the world are a result of that money flow to the wrong hands. The second one is environmental and global warming. It's a major cause of most pollution today is oil. But the largest problem is that it's a big weight on the world economy. The world economy is strangled by oil prices. And without getting oil back in order, that is getting oil down or eliminating oil, it will keep strangling the world economy.
In your opinion, what's Israel's role in reducing global oil dependency?
Well, actually, Israel took a very interesting action. The Israeli government recognized the strategic importance of getting rid of oil or reducing its price and importance in the world, and they established a special program to develop oil alternative companies industry. So in this program, they'll pour a lot of money, they're pouring already a lot of money into research, into universities, into companies with some supports and special structure and creating funds. The idea is to create another startup nation, not just on ICT, but now on technologies to replace oil. And there's so many of them already on the way that we believe we can have an impact very quickly.
Israel is known to be a leader in the implementation of electric vehicles. Do you feel that EVs are indeed a viable solution in reducing the automotive industry's dependency on oil?
Indeed they are. We actually can see a future where the electric car will be the majority of cars, sometimes within the next 20 to 30 years. It's already starting. I myself drive an electric car, and other people that I know are having plug-in hybrids and other cars. In Israel, we'll have a very special solution called Better Place that has been implemented in Denmark and in Israel. It's going to take a while. It's not something that will happen today, and we still have other fuels we have to look at to replace oil, not just electricity. But definitely our children, generation, or in 30 years from now, will likely be buying an electric car, not a fuel car.
What is the significance of the new natural gas find in Israel?
Well, everybody always joked that Israel is the only place in the Middle East with no oil and gas. That joke is finally over. Israel has found significant amounts of natural gas in the Mediterranean. And the opportunity for Israel is to actually convert its fleet away from oil, its car fleet, its truck fleet, to natural gas or to byproducts of natural gas, for example, methanol. If Israel is going to do it, it can do it within a few years, maybe 10 years or less. That will be a remarkable achievement that will first save the country tons of money of importing oil, but I think will signal to the rest of the world how quickly it can be done and how more economical it is.
So you said there are alternative technologies that can replace oil. What type of technologies does Israel have?
Israel is very advanced in various areas. For example, in biofuels. Okay? Israel was always a leading country in agriculture technologies. And with Israeli know-how, we can increase the yields of both for food but also for biofuels around the world very quickly. Israel has a leading chemical industry with a lot of innovation in Israeli academia that we can use now to replace or improve things in the oil sector. And little known to people, Israel produces $800 million a year of exports to the automotive industry. So there's a lot of internal infrastructure here that is kind of quietly unknown to most people.
What has been done politically to change the technologies?
Actually, the goal of the Israel program for oil alternative technologies is not to wean Israel of oil. The goal of the program is to develop technologies to help the world get off oil. So if we find a cheaper way to do things, that will help the entire world to do things more cheaper than oil. And at the same time, Israel will benefit from selling technology because that's Israel's strength.